Hi guys, it's Taya, and in this video I'm going to present to you guys my semester 1 works from my honors art class. So if you guys are interested in seeing what I had created, please keep watching the video. For my first piece that I had completed during my first semester, it was mainly based on working with alcohol markers, which I had no idea what they were at the time, and I was very excited to start using them. While working with the alcohol markers, I decided to make this piece about me, so I decided to make it based off of my zodiac sign, which is a Capricorn, and I had included the sea goat and marigolds, which is the birth flower. Along with using alcohol markers, I also had used colored pencils, which I used to shade places in darker areas to make more depth, and I also used fine point markers for more detail for the goat's face and the fin. Overall, this was definitely my favorite piece that I created through the first semester, and after working with alcohol markers, it has become my favorite tool to use in most of my pieces. For my second piece that I created during my first semester, we had to use resistance within our work. And the way I use resistance in my piece is the white parts that you see outlining the rose and the sun. The white parts in this is actually a whiteout, and when I had painted over the whiteout with watercolor, it had taken away from the paint and the paint didn't come up in the white parts. For this piece, I had decided to represent how even with darker things, some light can come through, which my darker thing was represented with the rose and my light was represented with the sun. By making the rose seem dark, I had used black to shade the leaves and the petals of the rose, and by making the suns feel light, I made a lot of movement in colors and used orange and red and yellow for those colors. This was definitely a challenge, and I had never done this before, but it was also a great learning experience, and if I had the chance to do this again, I definitely would, and I would definitely do research on different things that I could use next time. For our third piece during the first semester, we had actually done the opposite of the previous piece that I had shown you, and with this one, we did subtractive mark making. This means we used whatever media we wanted to use, and then we had to take away whatever we had used to make something. In this case, I had used my subtractive mark making in the pinks of my mountain, and in my moon, and in my sun, and in the water to create highlight points and the reflection off of the sun to the ocean. For this piece, I had used watercolor and some white marker to make some little dots and different detail. This piece didn't really have a meaning to me, but I just really wanted to show how two worlds can be different but yet at the same time the same. For my fourth piece I created, it involved using impasto, which was basically using a thicker acrylic paint and putting it on the canvas while also making texture to the actual canvas. Doing this technique was actually pretty difficult since we needed to experiment with actually creating a thicker paint if we didn't have it. I decided to do something simple, which was to do a field with the sky being the blue and then the field being the orange and up close flowers that had a lot of detail and a lot of texture. You can't really tell from seeing in this picture, but there is a lot of bumps and curves and stuff from the stems that you can feel on the actual canvas. Although this isn't my favorite piece that I had created, I'm also very proud of it because it took a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of researching and a lot of experimenting to get to the way that I wanted it to be. For my fifth piece that I created during semester 1, it involved using foreshortening, which is where certain parts of the object are closer and other parts are further, essentially giving the illusion that it's being projected towards you. For my work, I had used a picture of my dog that I had taken above his head. And in my work, it's supposed to be that his head is what's closest to you and his paws are what's further away from you. My materials that I had used for this work was alcohol markers, which I used it for just base colors of his body and the floor and the couch. And then with colored pencil, I had went in to make darker spots and blended out different things to make it look like that it was his actual fur. This is also one of my favorite pieces that I had created, mostly because it is my dog, and I also love the way how I portrayed into doing this and using the alcohol markers and the colored pencils to make this really stand out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and if you want to see anything else from me or my friends, please please go check out the other videos. They're awesome and they're so creative with their stuff. Again, thank you for watching.